Minister from the European Union, Le Drian, all the moderator, panelists, all the dignitaries present. I am very happy because India and France are working together for years now. I recollect the whole Paris Agreement. Second last day it was on collapse. People were discussing that yes, we will not reach to a conclusion. But that day, the then French President, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Xi Jinping and Obama spoke with each other and the agreement was saved. And it has ushered a new inning. So I think Paris is also a major cooperation between India and France. In Paris only we launched International Solar Alliance. And I recollect in a bigger hall than this, there was jam-packed auditorium, more than 120 countries. Because Prime Minister Modi has thought of using solar to the maximum. Because it's a God gift. And it's not fossil fuel. It's free of any kind of emissions. And therefore we promoted and we declared there that we'll have achieved 100 gigawatts by 2022. France has become co-chair of International Solar Alliance and we are working together. So we also have memorandum of cooperation. We also are partners in CDRI, Disaster Resilient Infrastructure Coalition for that. We are also partners in that. As we know, every month new Rafales are coming. That also assures Indian people, yes, we have real ties with France and we feel more protected. Even atomic energy. We are working together on collaborative projects. And I think this collaboration will go deep and deeper. As I see, Modi and Macron have an unusual good chemistry amongst themselves. So we can work together and we'll continue to work together. Let me today put few contexts. Yes, we are suffering high temperatures, unusual rains, hurricanes, frequency of such abnormal events have increased. But let us not forget that this is not a new phenomena arised only in last 2 decades. For over 150 years, because the carbon emission remains in the atmosphere for more than 150 years. So what we are suffering today is caused 100 years ago. The countries, European, American, and last 30 years, 40 years, China, they emitted. And therefore the world is suffering. India is suffering because of actions of others. That's the real context. And therefore, in climate debate, historical responsibility is a very important aspect. We cannot just forget it. And will not allow anybody to forget it. The historical responsibility today is China 28%, USA 14%, Europe 10%, India is just 3%. So we are not responsible for the climate change that is happening. But still, India is a responsible nation to do right things and do away with the climate risks. Therefore, our actions. And with this historical responsibility, principle of common but differentiated responsibility emerged. CBDR. Yes, as we are facing today common threats, we all will have to act. But those who are polluted will have to act more. That's why they committed in Copenhagen $100 billion per year. I just calculated, if I am right, moderator. Now it is 11 years old, 11 years. It is $1.1 trillion. And where is the money? There is no money in sight. So you will not finance. You have polluted, you have destroyed the world, and you have brought the climate change. And now we are saying that don't use coal. The alternative technology has to be much cheaper than coal. Then only people will do away with coal. And India is not a major emitter. People say in sequence that we are the fourth largest emitter. How? India, coal consumption of China is 4 billion tons this year. Ours is not even 1 billion tons. It's 850. So how we are comparing apples with oranges? And so the principle of equity is also important. Poor of this world have the right to grow, have right for development. How they will achieve? They need power. Europe's per capita per year power consumption is 10,000 kilowatts. My per capita per year power consumption is 1,200 kilowatts. Doesn't Indian people or the poorer world requires the facilities which everybody others are enjoying? We'll be more responsible. Because our culture and ethos tells me, don't waste. Use, conserve. Probably ours is the only country which worships trees, which worships animals, which worships birds. This is our cultural ethos. We live with nature. And we think nature as part of our life. So coal, nobody will like to use. But we have done more than 15 billion dollars investment in having more clean FGD technology. It's a huge cost. My cost of power production increases by 3% with that one single technology. But we are doing that. We have put 400 rupees, $6 carbon tax on coal production. When I told that in during Paris, Ban Ki-moon and others were astonished to see how you could levy carbon tax. I told them that in Parliament we have 36 political parties. But we did it unanimously because we want climate change to be tackled. We want to discourage coal. We want to promote solar and renewable energies in all forms, maybe it's wind, maybe it's solar, maybe ethanol. And we have also used biodiesel to fly from Dehradun to Delhi and back. Aircraft we have, commercial aircraft we have flown with biodiesel. This is India in action. On petrol and diesel, on fossil fuel, we have 40% carbon tax in a way. Let us understand. What is the tax? It's a carbon tax. State and central put together. France also tried this, but they had to roll back immediately. With 36 parties and such a diversity and a huge country and not so developed and not so rich, we are doing this. This is level of commitment. So, my main issue is that poor of this world has a right to grow. We will ensure the sustainable growth path. That is what is needed. And there was also discussion in the Earth Summit that who will do how much action. And it was decided that national circumstances will lay the framework for actions by various countries. National circumstances. So national circumstances are the capabilities, respective capabilities, capacities. That is what will determine the action of each country. And India is far ahead. And I am very happy to report that India is the only G20 country to walk the talk on Paris Agreement. United Nations Environment Programme, UNEP, Climate Tracker, Climate Performance Index, all such surveys have adjudged India one of the best countries on performance from 95 to 2000, no, from 2015 to 2020. Many countries have forgotten their pre-2020 commitments. We have done more than what we promised. And therefore we are the only G20 country. We have increased our tree cover by 15,000 square kilometers. We have declared 26 million hectares target of land restoration. The degraded land to be restored is 26 million hectares by 2030. And we are also walking the track there. We have reduced our emission intensity by 26% as I stand before you. We have promised 35% by 2030, we'll achieve more. But if I say that we'll achieve more and Prime Minister has declared 450 gigawatts, it's our commitment. Then countries start saying, oh, raise the ambition, raise the ambition. First, follow the ambition, what you have promised in Paris. Everybody is talking of 2050, not of 2025, not of 2030. We need to galvanize the countries as far as biodiversity. India has only 2.5% of world's land mass. There are constraints. And we have 18% of world's population and 18% of world's cattle population also. Both require land and water. We have only 4% of fresh rainwater resources. Still, we have 8% of world's biodiversity. I have world's 70% tigers, 30,000 elephants, 70% of Asiatic lions. My biodiversity is growing in leaps and bounds. This testifies my rich biodiversity. So, this also we must take into. Last 2 points is climate justice. Justice to the poor nations. Because they have also right to develop. So what countries which are responsible for bringing climate change should do is, should really finance what they committed and make technology available at an affordable cost. See, climate change is not a business. Climate change is our duty. Fighting climate change is not business, but fighting climate change is our duty. And to fight climate change, we must be able to, there is a battery storage problem, there is a fast charging problem. We have launched huge electric vehicle program. But there are cost barriers. If technology supports bringing down the cost, that is what is needed. And last but not least, I recollect, and if you confirm me, world has agreed to supply anti-AIDS drugs at cost price or even below cost price. Because they think AIDS is a disaster. So, we should not profit from it. That's a good principle. If climate change is a disaster, we should not profit from disaster. And therefore, we will walk the talk. We will complete our commitments, raise our own ambitions, but not at behest of or under pressure. But we will also ask countries to finance and to provide technology support, and we'll ask countries of their actions. Thank you and all the best.